Good morning, one and all. I welcome all the MBCS second year students to the online classes. The summary of last lecture that we have discussed about determination of wavelength of a monochromatic light by using Michelson interferometer. See, in the previous lecture I have explained like this. First of all, we have to adjust the interferometer for circular fringes. After that, what we have to do, what is our aim? We have to calculate the wavelength of the light used in the experiment. So first of all, we have to move that M1 mirror in upward direction through a distance lambda by 2. We can observe one ring is passing through that center of crosswise. As the M1 mirror is moving through each lambda by 2 distance, we can observe one bright fringe. So let us imagine the total number of fringe that observed by us be capital M. As M1 mirror is moving in upward direction, the number of fringes crossing at the center of crosswise is equal to how much? Lambda by 2. So N be the number of fringes crossing the center of the field of view. So what is the total distance traveled by this M1 mirror? That is N into lambda by 2. For each fringe, how much distance we are moving? Lambda by 2. For N fringes, the distance or the displacement of the M1 mirror will be N into lambda by 2. In the previous lecture, I have explained like this. So the path difference or the gap between the M1 mirror and M2 dash mirror. M1 mirror and M2 dash mirror. How do we calculate this gap? Simply by calculating, let this is x1, let this is x2. So how do we calculate that gap between these two mirrors? That is x1 minus x2. So this value is equal to, it is x1 minus x2. It is not 2 of x1 minus x2. So the total distance, the total displacement of the M1 mirror from M2 dash mirror is equal to N into lambda by 2. That is in terms of x, that is x1 minus x2. But what is our aim? We have to find out lambda value. So the wavelength of the monochromatic light is equal to 2 of cross multiplication, 2 of x1 minus x2 whole divided by capital N. So this will be the final expression of this derivation. You have to remember. Is that clear? So in the examination they will ask like this. What is a Michelson interferometer? Explain the construction and working of Michelson interferometer, and also explain how a wavelength of a monochromatic light is calculated. From this equation we can calculate the wavelength of monochromatic light used in the experiment. So N is the number of bright fringes that are crossing at the center of field of view, that we can count simply by using the telescope. So how do we calculate x1 and x2? x1 and x2 are the positions of the M1 mirror. So easily we can calculate by using micrometer screw. So micrometer screw is used to determine the position of the mirrors. So that is used by micrometer. All values can be calculated on right hand side so that we can calculate the wavelength of the monochromatic light. This is about one use of Michelson interferometer. There is another use of Michelson interferometer. We can calculate the difference in the wavelengths of light by using Michelson interferometer. Determine the difference of wavelengths of light by Michelson interferometer. This is another use of Michelson interferometer. How do we calculate the difference of the two wavelengths of light by using this device that I am going to explain here? Just listen carefully. So first of all you have to understand what is the difference of wavelength. See, even if we consider a monochromatic light, that may be also consisting of more than one wavelength. If I consider a light like sodium, here I am giving one example for you. Sodium light, I think everyone is familiar with this light. So sodium light generally uses in traffic signals. So generally sodium light emits yellow colored light. If you observe the sodium light by a spectrometer, you can observe two lines in sodium spectrum. Since it is a monochromatic light, it maybe gives one wavelength. But if you observe by a powerful spectrometer, you can observe two lines in that spectrum. The wavelengths of those lines is equal to, one is 5890 angstrom, the second wavelength of the second line, that is 5896 angstrom. So the difference between these two wavelengths is a very small value, which is equal to 6 angstrom, which is a very small value. That is why generally we cannot distinguish these two lines separately. If we observe sodium light by a powerful spectrometer, in such case only we can distinguish these two lines separately. So here I am going to differentiate. Here I am going to calculate the difference between the two wavelengths, lambda 1 minus lambda 2, by using this device, by using this Michelson interferometer. So what is the procedure? What is the procedure of this concept? Just listen carefully. First of all, we have to adjust our Michelson interferometer for circular fringes. For circular fringes. So simply by changing the positions of the M1 mirror and M2 mirror, you can obtain circular fringes. So the fringes which are formed during that experiment are due to, imagine, are due to lambda 1 wavelengths and lambda 2 wavelengths. Let us imagine I have adjusted this interferometer for localized fringes. For localized fringes, I have obtained localized fringes. So these localized fringes are formed because of our light is consisting of two wavelengths. These fringes are formed due to lambda 1 wavelengths. These fringes are formed due to lambda 2 wavelength. So the light which is having lambda 1 wavelength is able to forming fringes, bright fringes. So light which is having lambda 2 wavelength also is forming the same fringes, but these two wavelengths are very close to each other. 1 angstrom equal how much? 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. If you want to convert angstrom into centimeter, 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeter. So which is a very small value. So this value is a very small value. So the difference between these two is a very small value. That is why practically we cannot distinguish these two wavelengths separately. That is why after forming sustained localized fringes due to these two wavelengths, we observe only one type of fringes. These two wavelengths are combined. The fringes formed due to these two wavelengths are combined, and we observe fringes like this. We imagine like this. We observe fringes like this. These fringes can be viewed through this telescope in the interferometer. So these fringes are forming due to both the lambda 1 and lambda 2 wavelengths. Is that clear? Imagine. Just imagine. What is our aim? We have to calculate the difference between these two wavelengths. We have to calculate lambda 1 minus lambda 2 of these two wavelengths. For after that, what we have to do? Just move this M1 mirror away from M2 dash mirror in upward direction or downward direction. M1 mirror can be moved in upward direction or downward direction, whereas M2 mirror is a fixed mirror. So just move this M1 mirror like this and simultaneously observe the fringe pattern through the telescope. If M1 mirror is moving like this, what happens? What happens? The n fringes, the number of fringes are nth bright fringe of lambda 1, nth bright fringe of lambda 1, and n plus 1th bright fringe of lambda 2 will be separated. So when M1 mirror is moving like this, what happens? The fringe pattern will be separated. Fringe pattern will be separated. You can observe two types of fringes if M1 mirror is moving like this. You can observe two types of fringe patterns. You can observe nth bright fringe of lambda 1 and n plus 1th bright fringe of lambda 2 in the field of view or at the center of field of view. See, after moving this M1 mirror from M2 dash B, x, the distance covered by M1 mirror to see these fringes, that is nth bright fringe and n plus 1th bright fringe be x. Imagine like that. So how do we write an expression for this x and nth bright fringe? See, in the previous lecture only we have discussed about this topic. See this expression. Instead of capital N, here I am writing a small n. Small n is the nth bright fringe corresponding lambda 1 wavelength. N plus 1 is the n plus 1th bright fringe corresponding lambda 2 wavelength. Instead of n, here I am writing as small n. Instead of lambda by 2, here I am writing as lambda 1 by 2. Simply I am writing for first light. Lambda 1 by 2 is equal to, what is the distance covered by this M1 mirror? Total distance covered by the mirror already I have calculated by using that microscope as x. Let this is equation number 1. Similarly, just write the same expression for second wavelength. Instead of n, what is n plus 1? N plus 1 is the n plus 1th bright fringe corresponding lambda 2 wavelength. So n plus 1 into, instead of lambda, here I am writing as lambda 2 by 2. So both the fringes are observing. Because of this M1 mirror is moving away from M2 dash. So both are having same x value. Let this is equation number 2. Is that clear? From equation 1, here I want to calculate n value. How do we calculate n value? N is equal to, after cross multiplication we get 2x by lambda 1. I want to calculate n plus 1 from equation 2. N plus 1 is equal to, on cross multiplication we get 2x by lambda 2. Let this is equation number 3. Let this is equation number 4. Subtract equation 3 from equation 4. You will get the final expression. Subtract equation 3 from equation 4. What is equation 4? This one, that is n plus 1. N plus 1 the bright fringe corresponding lambda 2 wavelength. So n plus 1, simply I am subtracting these two equations. N plus 1 minus n. Coming to the right hand side. 2x by lambda 2 minus 2x by lambda 1. So plus n minus n gets cancelled. Plus n minus n gets cancelled. We are having only 1 here. Here 2x can be taken as common. Simply I have taken 2x as common. So lambda 1, lambda 2 will be the LCM. Okay. Cross multiplication, lambda 1 minus lambda 2. As lambda 1 is more than when compared to lambda 2 in this case. Is that clear? So I want to calculate, what is my aim? I want to calculate the difference between the two wavelengths of the light. So on cross multiplication we get like this. Lambda 1 minus lambda 2 is equal to lambda 1 into lambda 2 whole divided by 2x. This lambda 1 and lambda 2 are nearly equal. So instead of lambda 1 into lambda 2, you can substitute as lambda average, lambda square whole divided by 2x. What is lambda average? The lambda lambda average is the average of lambda 1 and lambda 2. What is x? That is the displacement of the mirror m1 from m2 dash. So this x can be directly calculated by using micrometer arrangement in the device. If you know the resultant value of the light, what is the average value of sodium light? If I consider the example as sodium light, what is the average of these two wavelengths? That is 5893 angstrom. One wavelength is 5890. Second one is 5896. What is the average of these two wavelengths? Lambda 1 plus lambda 2 by 2, we get 5893. So you have to know the average value. If you know the exact value of wavelength of the given light, you can calculate the difference in the wavelengths of the given light. Simply by calculating these equations, finally you can calculate the difference between the two wavelengths which are very close to each other. In this way, we can find the difference between the two wavelengths of the light by using Michelson interferometer. This is also one of the important topic in Michelson interferometer. So construction working is common for previous class and this lecture. So they may be attached this question or this question for that construction and working of Michelson interferometer. If they ask like what is Michelson interferometer, explain its construction and working of Michelson interferometer, and also explain how the difference of wavelengths of light calculated by Michelson interferometer. If they ask like that, first of all you have to explain the construction and working of interferometer. You have to draw the diagram actually. After that you have to explain the construction and working of interferometer. After that, how do we explain this part of the derivation? First of all, we have to adjust our Michelson interferometer for circular fringes or localized fringes, so that the crosswise coincide the fringes. Actually, our light which is using during this experiment consisting of two wavelengths which are very close to each other. So due to the exposing of that light on that interferometer, what happens? We have to get two types of fringes. But these two wavelengths are very close to each other. Instead of getting two fringe patterns, we get only one fringe pattern. If you move this M1 mirror away from M2 dash, you can observe that these fringe patterns are separated at the center of field of view. Imagine nth bright fringe of lambda 1 wavelength appears at the center of field of view, and n plus 1th bright fringe of lambda 2 wavelength appearing at the center of field of view. I want to write the equation for lambda 1 wavelength from this expression. Already we have discussed about this expression in our previous lecture. Simply I am using this expression. I am writing this expression for lambda 1 wavelength. I am writing this expression for lambda 2 wavelength, so that we get these two equations. If I subtract, finally we can calculate the expression for the difference of wavelengths of the given light. This is another use of Michelson interferometer. We are having one more use for Michelson interferometer, that is third one, that is we can calculate the thickness of transparent film by using this Michelson interferometer. Third use. So determination of thickness of transparent sheet by using Michelson interferometer. So this is the last part of this topic. This is the last part of this lesson. Listen carefully. How do we calculate the thickness of the transparent sheet in this experiment? Imagine, just remember the previous class. Our previous class is about Michelson interferometer. Here I am drawing the diagram for Michelson interferometer roughly. So this interferometer is having actually two mirrors who are placed perpendicular to each other. This is second mirror, this is first mirror, highly polished mirrors. So this is the source of monochromatic light. So light coming from monochromatic light is allowed to incident on a convex lens. So it makes all the incident rays becomes parallel. So these rays finally we have to make fall on a glass plate, semi-silvered glass plate. So we get two rays at G1 glass plate. One is ray 1 and second one is ray 1, second one is ray 2. Both are traveling towards M1 mirror and M2 mirror, and they retraces their path and they combine again at G1 and interferes. The interfering fringe pattern we can observe through this telescope. This is the rough diagram. To make the path difference equal, we have to place another glass plate parallel to G1. Let the second glass plate be G2. So this is about the experimental arrangement of Michelson interferometer. Already we have discussed in our previous lecture. So what is my aim? Here I am going to calculate thickness of a transparent sheet by using this interferometer. So to calculate the thickness of a transparent sheet like mica is a good example for transparent sheet. So imagine we have to place the transparent sheet whose thickness is going to be calculated in the path of ray 1 or ray 2. You can introduce that transparent sheet here or here. So that what happens? There definitely there will be some path difference exist between the two rays. If I places the transparent sheet in the path of ray 1, so definitely the distance traveled by the ray 1 is greater than the distance traveled by the ray 2. So if I introduce the transparent sheet in the path of ray 2, in such case the distance traveled by the ray 2 will be more than the distance traveled by the ray 1. Definitely there will be some path difference exists between the two rays. Is that clear? So remember, already we have discussed during that Fresnel's biprism experiment. First part of interference. After Fresnel's biprism experiment, we have discussed how do we calculate the thickness of a transparent sheet by using Fresnel's biprism. That is about Fresnel's biprism. But this is about Michelson interferometer. So due to the introduction of this transparent sheet, definitely some path difference exists between the ray 1 and ray 2, so that the fringes will be moved. The fringes will be moved away from the center of field of view. Due to the introduction, if I introduce this transparent sheet, I can observe that fringes are little bit displaced. Clear? So that is by using my telescope we can observe. Clear? So then what is the path difference between the two rays? This is ray 1, this is ray 2. Due to the introduction of that transparent sheet, let us imagine the refractive index of this transparent sheet be mu. The thickness of transparent sheet be T. So due to the introduction of the transparent sheet, the path difference between the two rays of light will be, you have to remember, 2 of mu minus 1 into T. Let this is equation number 1. So if you are watching the interference fringe pattern through this telescope, you can observe the reflected rays, that is ray 1 and ray 2 are coming from M1 and M2 dash instead of coming from M1 and M2. So the two rays appears to coming from M1 mirror and M2 dash mirror. What is M2 dash mirror? That is the virtual image of this M2 mirror. Is that clear? So what happens? So already the fringe pattern is disturbed. So always we have to place the fringe pattern at the center of crosswise. Always we have to keep the fringe pattern at the center of crosswise of the telescope. Further, what we have to do, just move this M1 mirror again in upward direction or downward direction. Imagine here I am moving this M1 mirror in upward direction. As M1 mirror is moving like this, what happens? The fringe pattern again come back towards the center of crosswise. After reaching that center of field of your center of crosswise, just stop the movement of this M1 mirror. That means in this case, finally again we got the fringe pattern at the center of crosswise. After getting that position, just calculate the width or the gap between M1 and M2 dash. How do we calculate the gap between M1 and M2 dash? Simply by using micrometer screw. Let us imagine this is x1 distance, this is x2 distance. So the gap will be how much? x1 minus x2. x1 minus x2 gives what? That is the gap between M1 mirror and M2 dash mirror. So path difference already we have discussed. For normal incidence, in case of films, the path difference is equal to T. 2 into T. Instead of T, here I am substituting what is T? That is the thickness of the transparent film. So that is transparent film formed between M1 and M2. Here which film is forming between this M1 and M2? Air only. Air only. So how do we calculate that thickness of this air? That is x1 minus x2. x1 minus x2. So these two values will be equal due to the movement of M1 mirror only. Finally, I have kept the fringe pattern at the center of field of view. So this distance covered by the M1 is definitely equal to the path difference between the two rays. Due to this path difference, fringe pattern is disturbed. Due to the movement of M1 mirror, again that fringe pattern kept at the center of field of view. So these LHS are equal, you can equate RHS. Simply I am equating RHS of these two equations. So 2 of mu minus 1 of T is equal to 2 of x1 minus x2. You can cancel 2. What is our aim? We are going to calculate the thickness of the transparent sheet. So T is equal, final expression. Instead of x1 minus x2, you can substitute as x. Instead of x1 minus x2, after subtracting this x2 from x1, let us imagine we got as x. Instead of this value, here I am substituting as x. You can substitute x1 minus x2 also. X whole divided by mu minus 1. So this is the final expression of this Michelson interferometer. With this topic, our unit is successfully completed. So the second unit of your optics paper successfully over. Tomorrow I will start a new unit, that is fourth unit. Until then, bye bye.